Oh wow, this whole time it wasn't going live. Are you serious?
Thought it went live.
No, I mean it didn't it wasn't I had it connecting, but I didn't hit the go live button. I just realized this whole time. So yeah, it's just now going live. All right, but that's cool. That's cool. So we'll do because we can do an overview. Um, all right, cool. So now we have the seating capacity.
Now the maximum velocity.
Yep.
Do we put in the maximum velocity?
You can type it however you want it. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I think we've only been live. We've only been on for we've been on for like 45 minutes. It's all good because we're doing an extra long session today anyway.
Do I end that with a colon
Uh, duh, 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 duh.
outside?
No, you don't need a colon, but you do want to go to the next line, and you basically just want to return that message. No, return isn't a variable.
Just
Return,
return.
yeah, return, and then what are you returning? What is the output? You want to return that variable you just created.
So we can copy and paste this line, right?
You,
Without message.
why would you copy and paste the line when you set it to um, a variable?
So you said what should they return?
What did you call the variable?
Message.
Right.
So return message.
Correct.
Return equals message. Or just return
There's no,
message.
there's no equal, just return message. Return is a keyword, it's not a variable. You only use equal when you're assigning a variable.
Got you.
Okay. All right. So now on line 13 and 14, instead of just printing the variable, I want you to print the output method of the variable. So in order to call the method, you use the dot notation. So it'll be Tesla Model S dot output, and output is a function. So you just hit enter, and then you got to put it's a function.
Parentheses. Quotations.
No, not quotations, parentheses.
Oh, colon.
No, parentheses.
Oh, around output.
Right, just type in parentheses right there. Open close. No. Why did you move? Open and close. You gotta open and close it.
Got you.
Now you gotta get rid of that extra one that you have. And now you see how it turned blue because that's a function.
Got you. So we didn't do this one yet. Or do we do this for the next one too?
Because both of those are instances of vehicle objects, correct?
Correct. They need the same basically structure.
Correct. All right. And my laptop is about to die, so I'm switching over. You about to see me hop in from my Mac or from my iPad, but that's me.
Okay.
All right, cool. So let's save this, and then let's run the script. And before we run it, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
Basically, going to filter it out.
Yeah.
Basically, say you got the Ducati with 2 wheels, gas, It's going to organize it with the output, with the correct output.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, my bad. Save it and run it. Now you see how it differentiated between, the variables that you put in. So on the Ducati, it's saying the number of wheels is 2, the type of tank is gas, seating capacity is 2, maximum velocity is 300. And then on the Tesla, it's like this: the number of wheels is 4, the type of tank is electric, seating capacity is 5, maximum velocity is 250. So yeah, so that should illustrate what the self. So now, do you understand what self is?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
I'm going to look into it more too outside of this because I got to get that installed in my head. Actually, all the key things.
Okay. So, what do you before we go on to the next topic, do you understand the core principles of classes and objects? And can you explain them?
Do I know the difference between classes and objects?
Yes.
So the class is basically like kind of like the details.
Mm-hmm.
And then the object is basically what is the thing you're trying to describe or break down. So for example, we have vehicle, which is the object, and then for the what's the other word?
The class.
And then a class, we have wheels, tank, seat capacity, velocity.
Right. So the class is the blueprint, the object is the concrete example.
Got you.
So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to define some getters and we're going to define some setters. So a getter is a method that gets the information of your object, because you don't want to expose the data directly to your code. You want to have what's called an abstraction. So instead of just doing vehicle dot number of wheels and getting and directly manipulating the data, we want to make a function that returns the number of wheels and a function that updates or sets the number of wheels instead of directly doing it with the data. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
So you want to make it outside so the other object can be more detailed, or the other things in the class can be more detailed?
It's not so much about detail, it's about the handling of data. So number of wheels, type of tank, seating capacity, and maximum velocity is data, right?
Correct.
We don't want to touch the data directly. Like we have Tesla underscore model underscore S. Mm-hmm. We don't want to directly touch number of wheels, type of tank, seating capacity, and velocity. We want to have a function do that for us.
Got you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to create what I'm going to do is we're going to go through example with one getter and one setter, and part of your homework is to do the ones for the rest of the variables. So we're just going to do number of wheels and type of tank. We're just going to do number of wheels. So on line 9, let's make a new function.
or yeah, add a new line, and make sure you set your tabs correctly so you're synced up.
Like that.
Yep. So we're going to make a new method, and we're going to call this get. Well, it's a new method. How do you define a new method? What's the key word that you have to use? Yep. So, and we're going to call this get underscore number underscore of underscore wills.
Get underscore number.
Uh-huh. And then it's a method. So, and we're not going to take any parameters. So it's going to be empty. And then we want to go ahead and what's the last thing you need to do? All right. So we're going to go on a new line. And what all this function is going to do is return the number of wheels. I'm sorry. This takes self as the only argument.
So we put that in parentheses.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So all this is going to do is return the number of wheels.
So print.
No, not print. How do we get the number of wheels? How did you do it on line 8?
Got you.
Look at once again. How did you do it on line 8?
A message return. Oh, return. But I gotta put return message.
Look at line 8 and find where you got the number of wheels. No. Not the string. Just look. What did you do? Right. You don't need the brackets because you're not doing an F string, but you're passing in self. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. And now you're done with that. Now we're going to make another method, and we're going to call this one set underscore number underscore of underscore wheels.
Repeat that again.
And set instead of get is going to say set, set.
Self as defined.
Yeah, self will be the only argument. And what I'm sorry, it's not going to be the only argument. It's also going to take in number of wheels. No, self is right. You need self, and you need. So when you want to add another argument, comma, number underscore of underscore wheels.
Like that.
Yep. So what we want to do in this function, you can go to a new line. What we want to do in this function is we want to set the current number of wheels in self to the new number of wheels that we pass into the function. So we're gonna set the current number of wheels on self. So how we're gonna get the self number of wheels? You just did.
We're gonna return him.
No, we're not we're actually not gonna return anything in this function. All it's gonna do is update the self number of wheels. So we don't need the return, but we do need the number of wheels from self.
So self that number of wheels.
Yes.
We don't gotta put no special like message or.
Nope. Because what we're doing is we're going to set that equal to the argument that we passed into the function.
Okay. Giving it that two-way option.
Right. So we're going to set that equal to and what do you think we're going to set it equal to? What is look at the argument. Look at the argument list for the function that we created.
Get number of wheels.
Yep. Not get number of wheels.
Set number of wheels.
Not set. Those are the names of the functions.
Oh, regular. It's going to just be regular. Number underscore.
Yes.
Of wheels. Got you.
And you could have called number of wheels anything. You could have called it X, Y, Z, whatever. But it just makes the code read easier when you name it variables that, make sense.
Got you.
All right. So now what I want you to do on line 17, we're going to add a new line. And we're going to update the number of wheels for the Tesla. Like, just make it 6. I don't care what you make it, So we're going to do Tesla underscore model underscore S dot set number of wheels, and it's a function. So if you hit backspace, now I want you to hit the open parenthesis. There you go.
Got you.
And I don't care what number you throw in there. So, well, don't throw 4 because it was already set to 4.
We got a spare.
Okay. And then do the same thing for your Ducati Model 750X. Now I want you to hit save, and I want you to before you do that, go add a new line after line 19. And I want you to call the print function, and inside of the argument you're going to pass to the print function, you're going to call your Tesla Model S dot get number of wheels.
Repeat that.
Call the get number of wheels method on. No. So how do you call that method? You got to call it on your object. So Tesla underscore model. Yep. Dot. No. So remember, you only do equals when you're setting an assignment, like you're setting a variable.
Got you.
We're not setting the number of wheels. We want to get the number of wheels. And that is a function. And you deleted the outside parenthesis of your print function. And then we want to do it again on a new line and do it for your Ducati. Awesome. Now, in between, now right there, I want you to hit the pound sign. And I want you to type, yourself a message to remind you that we just changed the number of wheels. But I realized we did all this and I didn't go over comments. So if you ever need to leave yourself a comment or a note in your code, you can type in the pound sign.
I swear when I counted, I was like, you got it up. I was like, is that 1850 still or 19? Yeah, that boy, he came with clip. Okay, what I'll do? Give him the 19 and then he gonna turn around, right? Yeah, right. Give me the money back. Yeah, you smart. You got a deal right there. He got it less than I did. That's cold. Now, right there for Phil's cell, boy. All right. Yeah, right when you got your right. Hold on. I'm going to go down. Yeah, after school. But okay. That's right there. Step out the car. Got you. Can I have my keys, though? Can I have my keys, please?
All right, bro. I'm back.
Hello?
All right, bro. So let's go ahead and save that script. And then we're going to head over to the terminal and run it. So we'll see that the first line, it shows 5 and 3. And then it shows the number of wheels is 5, the number of wheels is 3, the type of tank, blah, 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 blah. So if you look over to your code, you can see you initialize the variables with 4 and 2, and then you set the number of wheels to 5 and 3, and then you called the get number of wheels function, you printed that, and then you printed the output, and everything changed accordingly. So
okay, so my thing is with the seats, right? Oh, with the wheels. Okay, why do we have to put a higher number or a different number?
You don't have to. I'm just showing you an example of what is called a getter and a setter.
Okay. So basically, if I was to really define it, I could put the same numbers and the numbers will match.
Yeah.
Okay, but you just showing me the difference of each set.
Correct.
Got you. Okay, understandable. Definitely. Appreciate that.
No problem. All right. Cool. Let's see. What else are we going to do? Let's head over. We've already showed you we can define regular arbitrary methods with the output. And all right, let's talk about encapsulation. So encapsulation is a mechanism that restricts direct access to an object's data and methods. So just like how I was telling you, we set the getter methods and setter methods. That's a form of encapsulation. We're abstracting the code away from the raw data, which is defined in self. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All internal representation of an object is hidden from the outside. Only the object can interact with it with its internal data. So in order to understand that, we're going to talk about public and non-public instant variables and how they work. So for a Python class, we can initialize a public instant variable within our constructor method. So that's what we did on lines 3, 4, 5, and 6. Self dot number of wheels, that type of tank, everything that we did in the init method, that we defined, the number of wheels, type of tank, seating capacity, and maximum velocity. Those are public instance variables, meaning, you know, the whole world can see the code. All the code can see those variables directly.
Gotcha.
So another interesting thing about the public part is that we can manage the variable value. So our object can manage its variable get with the get and set value, right? So if on line, instead of doing get number of variables and set number of variables, if you wanted to, you could just do Tesla model underscore s dot number of wheels equals 5. You didn't have to do it with the method. It's just good practice to do so, typically, to encapsulate your data. So in other programming languages, they have what's called private, but Python doesn't really have a definition of private variables, without without having to rewrite a whole bunch of stuff. So as the public instance variable, you can define the non-public instance variable both within the constructor or within the class. The syntax is different. If for non-public instance variables, they use an underscore before the variable name. So if you were to let's go to, why don't we make a whole nother class? So open up a new file, and we're going to call this class, we're going to call it person.py. Okay, cool. So let's make a new class, and we're gonna call this person with capital P. So you're missing two things.
Hold on. Don't tell me.
Capital P. And you're still missing one thing. There you go. All right. So we have class person. Now let's make our init function like how we did earlier. So
And do we need to put that self still?
Yes. So we're gonna have self.
So is self always going to be a part of the init function?
Yes.
Okay.
And not a period, but a comma. And we're gonna have a first name. So first underscore name. And then we're also gonna have an email.
So email underscore address.
Mm-hmm. No, 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 no. No, I'm sorry. Underscore email. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My brain's all over the place. Get rid of the underscore. Just leave email.
Okay, so when we put a single word, we don't got to put no underscores
No, but we will be using underscore in the variable for self, but not right there. So go ahead and add your semicolon
at the end or right here.
at the end of your definition. And now we're gonna go to a new line, and we're gonna do self dot first name equals first name. And then we're going to do self dot underscore email
We didn't put underscore. Do we still got to do that?
underscore right there.
So my question is, since we didn't put it when we was defining it.
I'm about to explain it
Okay,
because
okay.
the special convention. All right, equals email. All right. So go on. Yeah. So go on a new line. Backspace to do your fix your tabs and type the word pass. Or I'm sorry, that's supposed to be indented 1. All right. So like I said, in Python, you there is no concept of a private variable. Like in C++ and in other languages, you can have a variable be private. So like how we print it out. Go back to classes.py real quick. So in our output, or whatever, not in our output, but if we were to do, if let's say we wanted a type of tank to be a private variable in another language, and like C++, for example, we wouldn't be able to access type of tank if we set it to private because it's private. But everything in Python is public. So how we get around that is you add the variable that you want to be non-public, which in this case was email. You mark it with the underscore. So go back to person.py. So we uh we would mark that we're basically marking email as a non-public variable, or attribute rather. And it's really just a convention. So we use a method that allows us to do it inside of our class definitions. Let's implement 2 methods, email and update email, to understand it. So let's go back to persons.py, and we're gonna define we're gonna find 2 more methods on person.py. So add a new line from line 4, and we're gonna define a new method called update email underscore email. Update underscore email. And that update email function will take two arguments. It's going to take self because we're updating something from itself, and then it's going to take a new email. So we're going to call it new underscore email. Awesome. And then on now what that method will do is it's going to take the self.email and set that equal to the new email.
Got you. Update email to self new email. Got you. So you just told them what to do. Update email to self new email.
So on a new line, you're gonna update the self.email.
Self dot new email.
No, you're gonna set self dot underscore email to the new email.
Got you.
I'll tell you later. Cause I was straight.
Awesome. Now we want to set another function. We want to define another method. We're just going to call this email. And that takes in self. And this is just going to return the self.email. You're missing something.
Colon.
Now you need to fix your indentation. No, you need to indent it.
Like that.
Yep.
Self dot new email.
Why would you do self.new email?
Sorry, that underscore email.
You would do self.underscore email. And that's the name of the variable that you define.
Correct.
All right. So if you have some data that you don't want manipulated, so you basically want to add the underscore to that variable name, and then you want to make a function that returns the data that you want, so that people don't manipulate the data directly. Which is essentially just doing getters and setters, like how we just did.
Mm-hmm.
So
in here we basically just updated them to a new email.
yeah. using getter and setter methods, essentially.
Got you. So we can run this.
Well, it's just a class. You need to like write some code to make a new to make a new object. So on line 11, let's make a new person, make a new variable.
Do I gotta put the quotations?
So person is the name of your variable, and then it's setting it equal to a new object. What's the name of your? So what is the name of your class?
Luke. So we're gonna have a person
No.
equal the name, right?
No, the name of your class is called person with a capital P.
Oh, okay. So what is it? Person equals person?
Yes. And then person is a class. So remember, we have to do the init function. So it's gonna. We need to open some parentheses. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I could do it on the same line.
Yeah, we're opening some parentheses, like a function.
Okay. I thought you said the init function.
Yeah, you've already defined the init function, and it takes in a first name and an email.
Okay, I got you.
So this is where you put Luke, and Luke is a string. Luke is a string, and you're also missing an email, which is also a string. So once again, yeah, and like give it a real email. Like I don't know. I mean, it can be a fake email, but like put a real actual email format.
Got you. I got you. Can I do it like that?
Yeah, but it's all a string too. Highlight everything. Highlight what you just typed. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Got you. Okay.
All right. So now we want to update Luke's email. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't need to put a colon after this, right? Nothing.
No.
Okay.
No colon.
So hold on. Colons is only after the function.
Colon is after you define a function or define a class, or you put it's whenever you need to do a new you gotta do indentions on the next line. It's for defining the scope, the end of the scope. So what you're doing right there, I don't know. You don't need to indent. That's an error. You're gonna cause an error.
Oh, I thought you said I need to put a space.
No, I said that you only put colons when you're going to need to do an indent.
Okay, got you.
So now we have this person object, and we want to call the update email function method on it. So how do we call a method on an object?
So we're gonna have to put update email.
We got to call update email on the person object. So go back to your classes.py. Look at line 23. Look at that syntax. Look at the syntax. So meaning look at the pattern on line 23. Output is a method on the vehicle class. Tesla Model S is an instance of that class. And see how they see what you did to call that method inside the print function. Like read it out loud.
Yeah. So Tesla Model S dot output parentheses.
Correct. So using that same format, what do you need to do to call the update email method on person? No, you don't need to print.
Okay. Real quick.
Well, I look at the test. Just the Tesla Model S part. Like look at the format what you did.
So do I need to put the parentheses around the person or not?
No, because the parentheses around the person belongs to the print function.
Got you.
So we want to call, instead of calling output, we want to call update email.
No underscore or underscore?
You want to call it exactly how it's. And the update email function takes in a new email. And that email address will be a string.
Okay.
You need to remember to do that. Like you need to put yourself in the habit of setting the string first. It takes in a new email.
Okay, so the one I put is just the standard. That was just his regular
That
email.
was the one that you set when you instantiated the object.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. And now on the next line, we want to print our email function on the person object.
I want to print our email function.
So you want what? So first of all, print is a function. So you're missing something.
Parentheses.
Now we want to call the email method that we defined on line 7 on our person object variable that we created. So just no. All right. How do we call a method on an object? You just did it on line. You literally just did it with the update email.
So basically, we're going to have to put it in the parentheses.
We want to call, okay, on line 12, you call the update email method on your person object. I need you to call the email method on your person object. So you did line 5. I need you to do line 7. So tell me what you're confused on so I can help you.
I'm confused on the new and the old. So am I about to be presenting the new to let them know that the old is replaced?
Yeah. So what you're going to do, you're going to print. You're just printing a function that you created. Line 7. Read line 7 out loud.
Def email self colon.
So that is the definition of the email method, correct?
Correct.
I need you to call that method. How do you call a method on an object? You just did it on line 12.
So you gotta so you're gonna put self and parentheses, not parentheses, quotations.
Why do you think you should put self?
Because that's what we're trying to define, right?
But you already did the definition. That's what a class is. The class is the definition. We're done defining.
Okay,
You
so
did
we
the
got
definition.
email.
So
So we're gonna be printing email.
when I'm saying you just did it on line 12, what is popping up in your head? Like read line 12 aloud.
Update email.
No, read the whole thing.
Person dot email. Person dot update email, and then quotation parentheses quotation trot.1@gmail.com defining the new email.
Right.
So
So
we're gonna be printing the new email out.
instead of calling the update email, I need you just to call the email function. So you have to call it on. You gotta call it on your object that you created. You can't just type email. Email belongs to the vehicle class, so you have to call it on your vehicle object, on your person class. So you gotta call it on your person object. So once again, so how did you call the update email function? Like explicitly, what did you type in?
Update email. Person dot update email.
Right. So if you typed in person dot update email and I want you to call email, what do you think you should type?
Man, my brain.
Person dot email.
Person dot email. Person. So we don't do person dot update email. Just person dot email.
Yes, because email and update email are two separate methods.
Okay.
Just like how init is a different method. Everywhere where you have the def keyword, you're defining a new method. And you call a method on an object using the dot notation. That's why it's person dot.
I gotta get my head around that, man. I put the quotation marks, right?
You don't need quotation marks. Look at line 7. You don't have any arguments besides self. But so no, you don't need a colon. But you
So why is the okay? I get you. I get why. Because that's we calling that email. Emails. That's the we already defined it. So it's gonna stay red, right? Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sorry, I was on mute. I was saying email is a method. So it shouldn't be red, it should be blue.
Correct.
So what are you missing?
The double parentheses. Hold on. Like that.
Perfect. So now I want you to save that and go to your console and run person.py.
Ooh, that's cold as shit can fry a nigga brain. Oh, sorry. Damn. Man, don't post this, please.
It's
I'm
too.
like
We already.
little Boosie on IG Live, man. I'm saying some stupid.
Hey, we already live. We got people. There's already like people watching, taking notes. It's all good.
It's already people watching.
It's live.
Oh. Dang, man. God, man. Okay, let me go. Person.pod. Okay, damn. Just for that little message. God.
Oh man. All right, cool. So let's go over this because I feel like there's definitely some areas that I feel like you're still confused on. So, do you understand walk me through your understanding of lines 11, 12 and 13.
So right here, we define in person.
No, what person is being defined from line 1 to line 10 in the class definition. So on line 11,
Yeah.
you are
First name
you
and
are
email.
on line 11 you are creating an instance of the person object. You can have multiple people, right? You can make 3 person objects if you want. Person 1, person 2, person 3. And so each one is an instance.
One second.
So on line 11, you create an instance of your class object of your.
You said so. You call it an instance.
Yes. So like, let's go back to my clone example, right? Like that's the blueprint. It's like printing out the clones.
Yeah.
It has its own little personal, unique characteristics, such as the different name and different email. And then on line 12, what are we doing?
We basically updating the email.
Right.
We update in person with a new email.
Right. And then on line 13,
We now printing out the person's email.
okay. Cool. Now what are we doing on the init method?
On an init method, we basically is giving that object, some, what is it called? A class. We're giving that object a class.
So the class is the whole block from 1 to 10.
Okay. So basically with a init, you basically I wanna call it detail, but basically you're giving that object data.
Yes, you're setting the initial data.
Correct.
And then on line 5, what can you explain what the update email method is doing?
So basically line 5 is basically giving giving it the function to say we're about to give it a new email.
Right. And how is it how's it setting that email?
By letting the old self._ email know that it's now equal to new email.
Perfect. And then,
man, this takes a lot of relaxation of your mind. You know that you got to really have your mind relaxed to get this shit processed. Because if not,
If you got hella stuff going on in the background, man, you can't. This shit ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta have
It
meditation.
definitely, yeah, definitely. Oh,
Because when I answered your question, dude, my mind was calm as hell. Like, like it rolled off like I've been doing this for a while. But
That's how it be. That's how it be.
yeah,
A lot of it is
man,
thinking for real. A lot of it is overthinking.
yeah, it is, and that's how it is. When I first started IT, it was a lot of people getting stuff wrong because we trying so hard to figure it out when it's right there. And with me, it'd be right there for me, but I second guess myself and be like, I don't really know this. I think I procrastinate and hesitate, trying to avoid to be wrong. But
And then finally on line 7, what line 7 and line 8, what are we doing there?
mm, so we basically defining the person email, right?
Mm-hmm. No, well, we're not defining the email. That's
Oh,
it's the
we assigning person with that new email.
no. We did that on line 6. So line 8, we're just returning that newly assigned. Like we're just returning it, giving it, just outputting it.
Okay, got you. So email self return. Hold on, I'm confused. So you saying we doing the output of it, all right? So so on line 6 is self dot underscore emails getting updated to the new email. So on line 7, we're defining what says email and self.
Right. So the email function just returns the email. Because remember, we did the underscore for the variable because we want it to be non-public. Like we want, if we wanted to hide that information. So instead of just returning and or having people directly modify the email, we give it a function that returns the email. So whether it's been updated or not, it's just going to return self.email.
Okay, which is the email.
Correct.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Now you basically send to the public. It's not exposed in detail. I say it's Luke Doc Trout. It just says email, so they won't be able to hack or have your information to the public.
I mean that more or less. Yeah, you don't want it. Yeah, you just don't. That's an aspect of it. Yes, it's like there's more to it than that. But yeah, let's see. How long? How much longer? You said you have somewhere you have to go.
Yeah, we can finish the 2 hours if you want.
Okay, I
Finish.
didn't. I didn't know how long we had left.
Yeah, so we right now we had an hour and 48 minutes, so we got like 12, 13 minutes left.
Okay, all right. That's not enough time to go on to the next module. Okay, so tomorrow we will do a part 2 on classes, and we're gonna go over inheritance. Um, but that's probably gonna be that we can work on that for a couple hours just on that. So in this last 12 minutes, okay, we'll go over the homework and what I want you to do. All right. So I want you to let's see. I want you to create a Python script. I want you to define a class called a book. Okay. In a book, I want it to have the following data: title, author, number of pages. You writing this down?
Yeah, so you said
All right.
title.
Title,
Uh-huh.
author, and number of pages. Okay.
So you want me to define class called books
Book,
and
singular. Classes are always singular, so it'll be book.
okay, called a class called book.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other word you called the what is it called? What is it called? You got object.
Object from class.
So title, author, and number is the class. You want me to do
Number of pages.
number of pages?
Yeah. So, and then I want you to create 3. I want you to
Hold on,
create.
my pen just died, man. Hold on. My pen trying to work like the phone, man. Would you be able to type that to the chat?
Yeah. Let me do that. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
that's my last pen.
create a book class with the following data. Um, author, data, author, title, number of pages. I want you to write. I want you to. I want you to make. I want you to define the class, and I want you to make an array that holds uh, 3 book objects. So like similar to how you did with the dictionaries with Raul, Bob, and Katie or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So I want you to make an array that holds 3 books, 3 book objects. I want you to loop over the array, and if the number of pages is even, I want you to print the title. And if the number of pages is odd, I want you to print the author.
Hold on. So you said if it's even, what?
If the number of pages is even, I want you to print the title of the book. And if the number of pages is odd, I want you to print the author of the book.
I'm kind of confused on the last part of why we're going to be doing even and the odd.
Because number of pages is going to be a number.
Okay. And we're going to define that number as Arthur and then define it as number of pages.
So when you make a new object, you're going to pass in a title, the author, and how many pages the book has.
Correct.
And then we're going to do a check on the number of pages to see if it's even or odd. And if it's even, then we're going to print the title. And if it's odd, we're going to print the author.
Okay. And so you want me to use a real book? Like choose
I
a
don't
real
care.
title?
You can. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
So we doing one book. And so with the 3, what was the other? You said you wanted 3 arrays?
Well, it's going to be one array that holds 3 books, 3 book objects.
So 3 books is really 3 dictionaries.
We're not using dictionaries. We're using classes now.
Okay.
So it's going to hold 3 book objects.
Okay. Got you. 3 objects. 3 book objects. So that's 3 different types of books.
Right. So you would make 3 separate variables, and each one of those variables is set to like a different book. Just like how you did the Tesla Model S, and then you did the Ducati, and those were 2 vehicles.
Correct.
Yeah, we're going to do the same thing, separate books.
Okay. Absolutely.
Print title, if odd, print author. All right, cool. All right. You got any questions?
I don't right now. I don't. I should be good for right now. Probably when I start, you know, creating it, I might. But I think I should be good, man. It's part of the learning process. Yeah, I think I should be good. It's just making sure I'm inputting the right information into the function, into the array, as I'm supposed to.
All right, cool. Well, are we gonna be meeting tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll like that. I'll definitely like that because I do want to, follow up on the homework to make sure I'm doing that correctly and move forward.
Okay. All right. So,
Yeah, basically tomorrow I'm gonna kind of answer my questions for the homework. If I run into any situations or anything, so
okay.
I should be pretty good, my man.
All right. Cool. I'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. Have a good one. Enjoy your night.
All right. You too.
All right.